Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have Alliance Coliseum. And this time around we do have quite a spicy fight. It is definitely harder than the previous Void. Was it Void? Oh no. Well, it's definitely harder than the previous ones that we have had. I think also harder than Hyperion because it's quite finicky. And nonetheless, we are putting up some scores, so I did use my initial energy testing out several things. And that is exactly what we're going to do in today's video. So basically, for most part, it is kind of a regular arcade fight, aside from the fact that arcade can also parry you now, which can also happen after you punish his specials, for instance. And the one note that really does impact how this goes, basically, is the healthy disposition, because he alternates in between stun, slow, and heal block immunity. And that stun immunity is very significant hurdle in this fight, because against arcade, every time he throws level 2, you do have to knock him down, and every time you would, give him charges for other reasons, like stepping in his gas cloud, you again need down, and against stun immune one, kind of quite a bit harder. And the main complication in this fight generally is the fact that you can't punish his level 2 unless you have like undermine effect. And that hurts a lot of gameplay rotations and styles. So for most part, I'm done quite fine. I did test out quite a few champions now. This is rank 3 hype, which is going to be good for like 7-8 bars probably. Like, was it rank? I think it's rank 3. Might be rank 2. But, Hype's quite decent because, again, his playstyle kind of incorporates those knockdowns quite well. It does get significantly harder to play against arcade when he gets a lot more power and you do need to basically just heavy and you don't have like a good runway. But overall, Hype is a fairly decent option. It's not any of my podium champions, but he does fit the hero mark this time around. And as we can see, I'm not going to show the full fight here, but Hype is going to be good for 5+ bars of power. This was like one of my first or second attempt, and I did like 5 or 6 bars of power here. And yeah, he does quite okay for this. I wouldn't say the best, but he definitely is an option. Again, because of how well his playstyle incorporates those heavy attacks. And then obviously you can spam the level 1s, and that way you do give less power. The problem starts when you do need to land specific hits, and that in general is going to be a lot harder than most opponents here, because again, you can't punish his level 2, and at 5th health bar, already kind of gets quite a bit of power. Chip damage quite a big thing, and this fight definitely gets quite hard quite fast. Initially, it's not too bad once you kind of understand how arcade works, but once he's starting to get more and more power, and when you do need to land specific hits, then not the best. But yeah, basically Hyperion works more or less basic fight. One thing that I did want to explain here was that level 1, you can dex that level 1 too, the second part of it, but that is like the optimal way how to kind of play against arcade. You dash in between his special attack hits, and then it makes this fight quite a bit easier. My phone started lagging because I have been doing a lot of recording, a lot of fights, and I can't really reliably dex that level 2 afterwards. Sorry, the level 1 afterwards. Level 2 is also dexable, but it is quite iffy. You need to start dexing significantly faster. So generally, I just dex the last hit of the level 2. But it is fully dexable for sure. But yeah, Hyperion does quite fine. Then we're going to take a look at the champion that's probably the MVP for this, but I purposely didn't do many bars with him, and I don't use him because he doesn't fit any of the tags. Deathless Thanos is going to do very well for this fight. Basically, the way you want to do this fight is you ramp up your Furies, and then you can throw the level 3s and get those permanent disintegrates on the opponent, and you're going to be doing reasonably well. So there is a way how you can punish, obviously, his heavy attack, his level 2 with Deathless Thanos after his Deathless Thanos. After Arcade's level 2. You can also use you can use the Unstoppable and then immediately you're heavy from the unstoppable. You will have to eat a hit if you do it that way. You can just parry and heavy too, by the way. But if you do this, then you can pause more reliably initially whilst you are building up. But later on, I should have switched off to just, parrying and heavying. But there we go. So I don't get the best arcade AI, but basically a couple of level 1s, it's fine. Go for level 3. And then I'm gonna like quickly fast forward. I'm not gonna show the entire fight, but here we have a disintegrate on. After his level 2, we drop that heavy attack. As we can see, his health bars are going down fairly fine. You're doing very good damage, and you can do like 14 health bars here with Deathless Thanos for sure. The biggest problem really is going to be just getting the exact hits that need to be gotten in. But yeah, you can quite easily get to a lot of bars of power. One champion that I also used for a bit was Serpent, and Serpent can put up some good 10 bars of power. So he is one of my podium champions. Another one of my podium champions is Dark Phoenix, and I'm not going to showcase a fight with Dark Phoenix because most of the people watching do not have one, but she's quite good for this too. And then there's Caroline Dean, and Caroline Dean I also don't necessarily think there's point showing. It's just that Caroline Dean fits all the tags. Not necessarily a great fight for her, to be honest. You can't really do too many bars with her. I'd say you can probably squeeze in like 7-8 bars, but she does okay. She's not the greatest for this. It's just that Caroline Dean fits all the tags, and the tag value has been doubled for this version of Coliseum. So using Caroline Dean is a very, very good idea. If you're looking to get like more bars, then Serpent definitely is quite a nice, solid, stable option because he does ramp up. He does do more damage as the longer the fight goes on. It's quite easy to get in a stand-up intercept after he's level 1, and that also makes it kind of easier to get those light and medium hits in as needed. And yeah, obviously he starts off a bit slow, but other than that, he's a very, very solid option here. As we can see that damage is going up and up and up. And yeah, Serpent's just one of those champions that's just good for so many things. And this is also absolutely one of them. And we're going to see it here. The man's putting in some very good burst amount. And I'm basically like almost ramped, or soon I'll be ramped. He's also chunky with those massive resistances. And with Serpent, another cool thing is you can just hit Arcade's block and throw your special into the block and get your knockdown that way. So it's kind of like another tool that you have at your disposal, how you can deal with those, knockdowns after his level 2s. But here, absolutely, my boy putting in work. Not bad at all. And we're going for a nice level 2 here. Should be decent burst damage. Wish Arcade had armor for situations like this, to be honest. Here again, we'll index the last one. We're gonna parry heavy here. And here I'm gonna shoot my level 1 in the block, get rid of his last charge. We are getting like 20,000 burst on level 1, which is not awful, to be honest. And yeah, you can get in decent chunk. But this fight's definitely harder than previous weeks, and a lot of people, from what I have heard so far, a lot of people do dislike this fight quite a bit. But yeah, it is more frustrating, I'll say that for sure. Another good option that I'm not showcasing is Vox. Vox also doesn't really fit any of the tags, but Vox is definitely a solid pick for this fight too. But here's how Serpent's dealing with it. So I will fast forward towards the end. You guys are going to see how I'm getting wrecked, but he does quite nice for sure. I'm going to make like some silly mistake towards the end. I think I could have gotten a bit further, but yeah, it is getting increasingly harder, obviously, to get in all the required hits because the timer is getting shorter. And this isn't the type of fight. The reason why this type is so frustrating and why we can't do as well as we normally would with a ton of champions, because it isn't really a fast-paced fight, because it's quite segmented. Every time he throws a level 2, you kind of have to get a pause in the fight unless you have undermine effect. Oh, and here we can see that this is where I mess up. I obviously could have gotten like past 10 bars and plus with Serpent, and I did before. But yeah, this is where I kind of messed up, and I'm just dropping special. Another champion that's kind of like easy podium levels. If you are good with Tigra, you can use Tigra to get a good amount of podium levels relatively quickly, because she's not going to do more than like, 7 or whatever bars. However, she can get them done relatively quickly, at the very least initially, depending how well you play. And with Tigra, I actually kind of enjoy this fight because it's different tempo, it's different pacing, it's kind of like more fluid. So in order to pump up podium levels, you can definitely also use Tigra if you have one. It is absolutely doable. That level, here I do make a mistake, but we're gonna do the same thing later on correctly. Don't you worry about that. But basically, you can use Tigra's phase through both of the special attacks because it's all like projectiles. So here we can see I'm gonna run in and phase through that. Again, a bunch of power. Want him to throw another one. And also because Tigra spams heavy attacks so much, she just naturally kind of gets rid of his charges if you happen to get any on yourself. And yeah, Tigra's quite fun. I know that I didn't have like the most fluid start here, but believe you me when I tell you this, she does quite okay here. Again, I'm gonna go in for a relic, drop that heavy to get rid of the last charge. I probably shouldn't have activated my level 1 before his special, but okay. And again, I'm gonna dash in, and yeah, it's just satisfying. It is really like, Tigra is one of those satisfying champions to use in the game. At least, I find it that way. And here we're gonna go for a nice second level 2. We have done a couple of health bars, and once you kind of get used to the fight, you can get the first like 4 health bars quite quickly with Tigra. And that's quite good because again, the most important thing in Coliseum is getting those podium levels up. Here I basically take and I drop a level 2 kind of pointlessly here, but that's fine. Tigra is an absolute menace in the current BG meta, by the way, guys. So be aware of Tigra. But here we go. I'm going in for one more heavy attack. But yeah, so that is that. My podium currently is Caroline Dean, just because she has like all the tags. And then I have Dark Phoenix and Serpent. Obviously, Thanos, I think, is the best option for this fight. Vox does great, and I'm sure we're going to find a few more along the way. Let me know who you guys are using. But yeah, quite finicky opponent. I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the